Hi! Welcome on our 10-day journey of the Rideau Canal. It's the last stretch! It's the last stretch! We left our trailer, we drove down to Kingston where Martin dropped everything off. And from there, so that was 3 hours, and from there Martin drove all the way to Ottawa, which was from Kingston to Ottawa, it's about 2 hours. Where are you off to?
Driving to Ottawa to catch the train to come back here.
Alright, see you later!
Bye.
So he's gonna catch the train from Ottawa to Kingston, get a taxi, and then come and meet us at these locks. Okay, yeah, very nice. So, Ruthie, what time did you make it to the train station?
I just got here like 10 minutes ago.
And what's the procedure?
Toronto. Please be sure to social distance while lining up. And it is mandatory to wear a mask when social distancing is impossible and on train at full time.
And then day one of paddling will be tomorrow. It's gonna be a scorcher this week. So we're gonna try to start really early because anytime between like noon and 3 p.m. it's completely unbearable and it's like there's no wind. Good morning on Kingston Mills is where we are at. I have the sun beating against my back, as you can see. It's 7 o'clock in the morning and it is hot already. We had a bit of a challenge. I woke up quite a few times. Very hot. It's gonna be hot. Let's get this show on the road. On the Rideau Canal, you're allowed to paddle and you're allowed to stay on the Rideau Canal and camp. The camping is $5, and what they'll do is they will leave the washrooms open for you. And that's how you can wash up and get ready and do all of that. Now, because it's COVID times, usually they would have some kind of showers available, but those are closed. So the closest we're gonna have is the water. And that's what we're gonna be using for showers for the next 10 days. The Rideau Canal is considered one of the most quintessential paddles of Canada, I think, that you can do. It's a completely man-made canal that you have here in the back, still completely man-run. Man, woman-run, hand-run, built in 1832 by British soldiers, completely financed by the British government. At that time, it was like 60,000 pounds it took to actually build this thing. On this lock, this is one of the first locks, apparently about 30 people died just making this lock. This was all hand dug, like with shovels and picks or whatever it is. It is crazy to think that we're going to be celebrating almost the 200th anniversary of this lock, that we're going to be paddling this entire trip, this entire journey, this entire 200 kilometers, which I don't know what it is in miles, but it's pretty sweet. So we're looking forward to making it to Ottawa. I look like this right now. We'll see how I look like later.
So we're crazy enough to extend our day and added probably a good 15-17 kilometers to our paddle. So we'll be doing a total of about 35 today. And we're tired.
Tired, I'm done.
So is she. But we're still paddling. We're almost there. We've got about 3 kilometers to go.
To Jones Falls.
To Jones Falls.
The magic of the Rideau Canal is that it's still manually operated by hand like it was in 1832. It can take up to 4 to 6 people to crank those 200-year-old handles and see the water rise up or come gushing down between the lock's doors. Surprisingly, from start to finish, it can take about 5 to 10 minutes to fill. Considering that the lock system is 188 years old, that's pretty darn quick. As you travel along the canal, you can witness how the locks were built in the excavated limestone channels to overcome the elevations or change in elevation. I cannot stress enough what a thrill it was to ride the locks. We were like on top. That's crazy. We were just camping right there. Oh my god. Look at this. I was just holding on to this like... By far, Jones Locks 39 and 42, was one of our most favorite lock with elevations and a lift of 59 feet or 18 meters. It was considered an engineering feat and dangerously high when it was built in 1832. It also is the biggest lock on the whole system. Now, considering this whole system and this particular lock was built and chipped away hand by hand, limestone by limestone, it was mind-blowing. The canal is alive with wilderness, and we swore we saw moose tracks, a birder's paradise. We saw a pileated woodpecker, which is so rare to see up close. And one of our favorite concerts was by this pair of loons.
One of the challenges of canoeing on large water is that there's a lot of motorboats, and the motorboats don't realize that the wake that they create behind the boats when they're going fast actually can be dangerous for canoeists. If it's taken side on, it can possibly tip the canoe. So every time we have a boat like that come through and we have a wake coming on, we have to stop moving forward, rotate the canoe 90 degrees so that we actually take these larger waves head on.
Okay, go!
Day one felt like 2 days.
Yes, because we did 35.
We effectively collapsed 2 days into one day on day one.
A long day because it was just so incredibly hot. So tomorrow wake up time is 5 probably. It's not
Before the Rideau Canal was designated a historic site, they started retrofitting the lock. So this particular lock was already retrofitted. It's the gates are steel gates and not the traditional wooden gates, as well as the opening mechanisms are mechanic and pneumatic, so they're not hand operated.
Good morning. It's 6 a.m. My eyes are pretty swollen. We have to go early because it's going to be like 35 degrees today. We have to get out of the sun. So, hopefully, we can do this in between. My eyes are like, ow.
Momentary of history lesson. As you can see here, we are much higher than we are down here, and that is where the lock is. We are now currently at what's considered the highest point. What that means is Colonel By, when they were blasting through this canal, they thought they could just blast through this bedrock and everything would be fine. But this wasn't a planned canal, like this wasn't a planned lock. But they had some difficulties, and basically they had to build this second lock because they thought they could connect the highest point, which is the Rideau River, which we're going into tomorrow, with that river, which I'm not sure you can see anything because of the sunlight, and they could just flow together, but it didn't work out that way. So
we are currently canoeing down a channel that goes from the Sheffield Locks to Newborough Locks to and that's what's called a moon. God. So we are currently canoeing down the canal. This is a section of the canal that was blasted out of rock in order to connect two lakes. Now the way you remember which is supposed to be on which side is you take your home port, which in this case is the log that we just crossed. The red boya is supposed to be on your right when you're returning home. So red, return, right. The sides of the red and green have switched. So we're now going away from the so-called home port. And now we're going to have green on our right and red on our left.
Instead of being raised, we're at the same level. That's cool. So now we're going to be lowered. We spent a wonderful day on this beautiful, gorgeous dock and beautiful, gorgeous cottage. So very cool having just another experience along the Rideau that we typically wouldn't have, and visiting and friend of a friend's amazing place.
At least 14 or 15 to go.
That much?
Want to see? Here, grab it. You never had a day that's more than 20 after that.
A mark is 3, right? So there's 3, 13, 14, 15. And we've done 10. So this is one of our actually longer days.
So today is one of the hottest days apparently on all of the days that we're here. It is going to be apparently going to feel like it's going to be 35, feel like 40. I don't know what 40 feels like, but maybe that's what it feels like. So to deal with the heat, we are paddling from bay to bay. How are we dealing with the dogs in heat? Well, we dip them in water. They also have this towel, which is a cold towel, which we should probably dip it again. Today is apparently 25K, which is, as you already said, potentially a longer day. We've done 11 kilometers, so we have another 10 kilometers to go, and we average about 5 kilometers an hour. 4.5 because we're stopping in between for the heat. Anyway, Yori's way up ahead, so we gotta. I'm going in for much needed ice cream or a beer.
We parked right next to the Perth Brewery sign. Absolute priority at this point is on a hot day, let's have a cold beer. We're doing what's called civilized canoeing, or for some hardcore people, the non-real canoeing. Which
So
means
we're kind of going to be eating lunch here.
So we canoed along the Rideau, we pulled up to a restaurant, we docked as if we're a big boat, and we're going to eat lunch
Here.
and beer.
And beer.
It's a hot day, that must
It's a hot
have
day.
beer.
Must have beer, for sure. So we are currently right here, which is the Rideau Ferry. We are going to be going through this big lake, all the way up to Smith Falls. So we're going down 26 feet. And probably how many minutes? In like 2 minutes? That's pretty impressive.
This looked just incredible. It looked like this is an infinity pool. And as soon as they start dropping the water level, oh, there's a gate! Would you look at that? See that again?
Arr! Impressions so far. How has the Rideau been?
Hot.
Flippin' hot, man. Don't do it in July.
Well, I think this is an exceptionally hot period, but at the same time, you're canoeing, you've got water, you can cool yourself down.
Yes, you can. As you see, this is how we jump in the water, and that's how we take showers. So
At the end of the day, that's a nice way of so that I'm actually in the shot.
sorry, my hand is shaking. Hurry up!
I'm too small here to tell. I mean, so typically we cool ourselves down by putting water in our hats and putting it in our head, and that is just fun.
This has been quite interesting. A mix of urban and a mix
Have you
of.
had?
Okay, lift it. Oh my God, my arm. A mix of urban, and a mix of
Wow.
wild,
Yeah.
like this.
What we're seeing here are dragonflies mating. They mate in the air and then they dip to drop the fertilized egg into water. And there seem to be a lot of them around here.
Our, biologist friend. He's coming.
I figured I should tell you guys what you're canoeing through.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But what happened was, about 75 million years ago, the plant kingdom evolved flower. One plant which evolved is this little green stuff here.
Okay.
Its Latin name is lemna.
Okay.
but its common name is duckweed,
Duckweed, okay.
right? Because the ducks eat this. You'll see them going around like this on the surface, right?
Yeah.
And this is the smallest flowering plant in the world.
This one?
Yes. Because, like, for example, in my hand, I'm holding a couple of dozen plants.
Yes.
But the funny things about these, even though they're flowering plants, they don't normally flower. What they
Right.
do is they reproduce asexually.
Oh.
And if you look really closely, you'll see little tiny ones. Like, there's the ones with the little...
Oh, yeah, I see little tiny ones, yeah.
There's the ones like this, which have little, like there's 3 of them there. And if you hold one up sideways,
Sideways, yeah.
like you kind of pick it up like this, you can see each one has a root.
Oh, wow, that's so neat.
So they're a floating, flowering plant that, in order to reproduce, they just usually do it asexually. It's like mitosis.
So, like, right underneath here, they're reproducing. This is everywhere.
Yeah, this is like paradise for the duckweed.
Wow.
I've never seen it this prolific. And
Does that
obviously,
mean it's healthy? It's a healthy thing?
yeah. In fact, anytime you have this much, like plant growth,
Yeah.
it's a very good sign that things are healthy.
This was awesome.
Right?
Great lesson. Welcome to Merrickville. We are staying in Merrickville tonight.
So we came for beer. The boys have fallen asleep.
The mood is kind of feeling my back. Our friend, his shoulder was conking out on him. Martin, his hand was also hurting. So we did about 18K today. And that was all she wrote. That's all we wanted. So we're hopefully gonna go get a real coffee because we're in town in Merrickville. And the coolest part is that we're camping along the canal and we can walk from our campground to like these really cool places. And Merrickville, as I've been told inside, is a very artsy community. Canadian Constitution is 150-ish, 160-ish years old. I wouldn't be surprised if immigrants were coming along the canal, stopping here, and settling here after the canal.
And that's when you told me.
Oh my God. Where's Misha? Did he go into the tent? No. Started raining again. The bugs have come out and it's now 8:30.
You ever see someone camping and they're doing this? They're not smacking their head for any other reason than they're trying to kill a mosquito.
What's for breakfast?
Chia.
Seeds.
Chia seeds with a bunch of goodies.
Oh my God. Mosquitoes are getting bad.
At the end of the season, the canoe docks are broken apart and the massive logs are used to close up the locks on both sides so they can be drained for winter.
Having lunch, gourmet lunch at the lock. I don't know where we are. So we're at a lock. They're all starting to look the same.
Burt Rapids.
Burt Rapids?
Burret.
Burret. Birch Rapids. Yes.
What's the lunch? Coffee.
We got some, well, that looks very fascinating. PJ, peanut butter and jam going. This is how you can have lunch at the Rideau Canal. How did you make your coffee?
Crisp.
Cheers to that.
No, really, how did you make your coffee?
I boiled water.
With some stove that you have here.
I took some ground coffee.
Yeah.
I put it into French press.
Yeah.
I put over boiling water.
Yeah.
And then I spit in yours.
When you were not looking. Oh. I mixed it.
Yeah.
Then I set a timer. Oh no, no! I did not set a timer. I looked at the watch.
It gets even better.
Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, I was supposed to press the plunger,
The plunger.
but I did not.
You guys are sad.
I ate a wrap
All right.
and forgot about the coffee.
Are you done yet?
And then I finally pressed the plunger, and the coffee came out.
Sad.
What's cooking tonight?
Thai red curry.
I don't understand why you take pictures of every meal. Are you really gonna look at them?
This is hot. It's straight off. My wife has gone mad. She's running in circles.
So, question was,
Are they coming in circles?
Sugar in them. Just watch this woman.
Does anybody want some s'mores? Oh my god.
Misha is looking out. What's going on?
Oh God, that's what you don't want is potatoes on them.
Oh my god. You said if I wanted some more?
I asked if you wanted some more.
Maybe one.
Okay. Oops.
So here's where we are, Agatha.
Today, oh my gosh. Today has been a day of a lack of filming because we got up at 6. It took us a couple of hours to get going. So I think today everyone is muscle tired, pinched, nerves. A cardinal sin of canoe camping is we ordered pizza.
And you can only do that while canoeing a place like
The Rideau Canal. So you don't have to canoe the canal. You can bike the canal. You can walk the canal if you want. We've met people that were walking the canal in sections.
Yes.
Every section, every once a week they moved to a different section. You can drive the canal and car camp. You can bike the canal and camp on the canal. You can RV the canal.
You can rent a boat.
You can rent a boat. You can go out on the boat. There's so many things that you can do on the canal.
We are currently here. So we've officially entered Ottawa and we are currently here. So we're nearing the last 3 kilometers of the Rideau Canal and it feels a bit like a blur. And guess what's in front of us? This is so cool. I've always wanted to do this. I've been to Ottawa so many times and like, I wonder what it'd be like if you could paddle into Ottawa. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna pick you up in Ottawa. Oh my god, this is so cool. So cool. So cool. Look, we're paddling. I know. Yo, we did it. Yo, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Let's touch the last log. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. We touched the last log. We are in Ottawa.
Now we're done.
Now we're done. All right.